Welcome back. Cultured Nursery here. Today I'm going to do my first attempt at sterilizing culture media. So disclaimer, I am using a pressure cooker and I am using plant growth hormones. So please do your research and know how to use them. This is not an instructional video, and if you blow up your house, I didn't do it. Anyway, this is my first attempt. I've gotten some information off the internet, lots of help from Plants in Jars, so thank you for that. So I'm going to be shooting this video. I'm going to be mixing up a culture media using kinetin. I'm starting with that because it is a safer hormone, and I want to be able to handle things and know, what I'm doing before I start messing with things that are more dangerous. So do your research on that as well. Some of the plant growth hormones, plant growth regulators are dangerous, and they can break the blood-brain barrier, so we don't want that. So do your research and make sure you're handling safe. And so I'm going to take you into the kitchen where I'm going to prepare my culture media. I'm going to take you through step by step. Like I said, this is my first time. I have never done this before. I am not a professional. And I clearly don't know what I'm doing, but we're gonna go through this together, see how it goes. So sneak peek at the nursery. I still need to shoot part 3, but this is what we're looking like so far. I think it looks pretty cool. But like and subscribe, guys, so you can see part 3 of the nursery and see the finished product, okay? So let's go mix up this culture media and get it sterilized, and then we'll go from there. All right. Right. Welcome to the channel, Cultured Nursery. Today we are going to mix up my first attempt at culture media. So the culture media recipe that I'm using is going to be using the plant growth regulator kinetin. I'm starting with that because it is a safer option, and I've never handled these things before, so I want to be sure that I kind of know what I'm doing before I get into the other ones. I purchased a couple of nodes, some Monstera Albo nodes off of Etsy. They were a little on the pricey side, but that's what I wanted to start with. So I'm going to be mixing up 2 separate culture medias because I have 2 nodes and I want to see which one works best. My other culture media that I'm going to mix up, I'm going to be using BA. But we're going to start with kinetin today. I'm going to keep you here. I'm going to walk you through the whole process. Like I said, this is my very, very first time. So I'm sure I'm going to make some mistakes, and yeah, don't come at me because this is my weekend look. And I don't know what I'm doing. So this is basically to show you that you can do this in your own kitchen too. And let's see how it goes. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to start by disinfecting my surface. I have a 10% bleach solution that I mixed up, 10% bleach. So if you want to know how to do that, sorry, technical difficulties already. If you want to know how to mix up a 10% bleach solution, it's basically 10 mLs of bleach per 100 mLs of water. Please hold. Okay, we back. That was simple. Brand new stuff. I didn't know what I was doing. Anyway. I'm going to start by disinfecting my surface with this 10% bleach solution. So I'm going to spray everything down, and I'm going to wipe it good. I don't know that this step is necessary, but I just want to start with a clean surface. All right, so I'm going to let that set for a few minutes while I get some things together. I'm going to be using my magnetic stirrer You guys, I'm gonna link everything I purchased in my final video of setting up the nursery. It's gonna be part 3. I will link all of the supplies that I bought and the cost so that you guys know how much it actually cost me to set this up. I'm not exactly sure where I'm at on price. I just had to buy everything I needed. Like I said, I've never done this before. So I had to purchase everything brand new. So this is my magnetic stirrer that I've also never used. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm gonna wear a mask for this just because I don't want to breathe in any of the growth hormones, and also to keep it a little cleaner. I don't want to cough or breathe on my surfaces. So also not necessary. This is just what I want to do. All right. So now that that bleach is dried, I'm just going to spray this down with some alcohol just to make sure everything is nice and clean. I'm just going to spray down everything. Just with a little alcohol. Just being extra careful. This stuff's expensive and I don't want to contaminate my media because I don't want to buy any more. So I'm also going to wear gloves. Like I said, I don't want to touch any of these things. So here we go. We are going to start. Spray my gloves with some alcohol. Make sure everything's nice and clean. I'm going to keep that handy. We are going to start my 100 ml beaker. We're only going to mix up a half a liter today. I don't need that much. Doing, you know, small quantities. Magnet with a stirrer. Let's start with, we're going to do 500 mLs because we're doing a half a liter. So I'm going to start with 400 mLs of distilled water, just plain old distilled water. We'll fill it up to the 500 mark after we get all of our additives in so that we don't go over. So that's about 400. And I don't know where that jug stands. I'm going to turn this on. See if I know how to use this thing. I've never used it before. There we go. Get it to stirring. All right. All right, so that's my distilled water. First of all, I'm going to add my agar. So I pre-measured this just before the video, just for sake of time. So this is my agar, which is 3.5 grams of agar that I got from Plant Cell Technology. And the MS culture media, murashige and skoog, it calls for 1.136 grams. So that's in here. I'm going to pour that in, let it stir. And then for a full liter, it calls for 30 grams of sugar, so I'm going to use 15 grams of this is just table sugar, plain old white table sugar. I'm going to pour that in. I'll turn this up a little bit so that we get a good mix going. All right. And then I've got to go get the kinetin. I'll be right back. It's in the fridge. All right, sorry about that. See, I told you I was going to make mistakes. So kinetin, growth regulator, it calls for 0.25 mLs. So I'll show you how I'm going to measure that. I have a syringe here. This is like a syringe that people use to give home insulin injections, or it's a 1 ml syringe and it's got the small measurements on it. So I'm going to do 0.25 of the kinetin. Okay. So I got this also from Plant Cell Technology. And I'm just going to poke a hole in the top. And I'll just go through with the needle. A little bit bigger hole here. I'm just going to go in and get .25, and we're just going to put that in there. Make sure we get it all out. All right. I'm just going to dispose of this. I'm going to dispose of this needle. I'm going to wash my hands and change my gloves in case I got anything on me. Set that to the side. All right, I think that should be mixed out nice. I'm going to add some distilled water. Top this off to 500 mLs. All right. So that should be nice and mixed. I'm going to turn that off. And then we're going to pour it up. I'm going to be using these polypropylene containers that I got from Plant Cell Technology. Oh wait, just kidding. We need to test the pH of this. Let's test the pH of this. It needs to be at a 5.7 pH. So, I almost forgot. So, I got this handy dandy little pH meter off of Amazon. We're going to test it. pH is 4.5. So we are going to use our pH up and a little pipette, and we're going to bring up that pH to 5.7. Okay, turn this back on. Just going to do a few drops and test. So that's 4.8. Five 5.2. 5.4. 5.6. 5.7. It's actually 5.74. That's it. All right, so now that we're at a 5.7 pH, now we're gonna pour it up. Get all this stuff out of the way. Turn this off. Noisy little thing. All right, so I'm going to measure my first one. Actually, I'm gonna measure all of them. So I can get the same amount in all of these. I'm just using a cheap scale. This isn't the scale I use to measure my growth regulators, because this one is just a kitchen scale. The other one needs to be, you need to be able to weigh to 0.001 grams. So this is just a regular gram scale. I'm gonna pour this up. I'm gonna just pour this into see how many of these we can make. That's about 60 mLs of culture media. I'm going to try to do them all about the same. I changed my mind. We're going to do 100. We're going to do 100 per wrap. We're going to add to this one. These are, the bottoms are a little larger than the jars I want to use, but I don't have the lids for my jars yet. So we're going to start with these. These are nice containers. Like I said, Plant Cell Technology has everything you need to get started. They have a starter kit if you want to start there. That's 3. There's 4. Technically it should make 5, right? Since it was 500 mLs. And the agars on the bottom. All right. Set that to the side. Now, for the next process, I'm going to be using that pressure cooker, like I said. I'm going to set these in. I have 3 liters of water in the bottom of my pressure cooker, and I'm just going to set these on the plate that I put inside the pressure cooker. Looks like they may all fit on one plate. If not, I have a second plate, but I would prefer to put them all on one. So we're going to have to use 2 layers. So I'm just going to gently set the lids on top for the pressure cooking process. You don't want the lids on tight because then they'll seal, and you don't want them to seal down. I'm just going to set them loosely on top. Then I'm going to take this second plate, I'm going to set it on top, and I'm going to put this last container right on top, set the lid on. To sterilize your media, you need a pressure cooker. You can use a microwave. If you use a microwave, If you use a microwave, you can boil it for 3 minutes. I'm gonna use the pressure cooker, and I'm gonna go up to 15 pounds of pressure, 15 PSI for 20 minutes. So I'm gonna get that started, and then when I bring everything out, I will pick up the video, okay? Okay, we're back. That entire process from lid on to pressure down took about 50 minutes, 50. So not bad. Got up to 15 PSI for 20 minutes. Now I'm gonna take the lid off, I'm gonna secure the lids, and I'm going to let this culture media set for 48 to 72 hours to make sure it's not contaminated. I'm gonna do that step because, like I said, the nodes that I bought were rather pricey, and I would rather see if my culture media is contaminated before I put my plants in, so I don't waste the money for the media and the plants. So I have a little surface set up here. This has been sprayed down with bleach and it's still wet. I'm also going to put on sterile gloves as soon as I get the lid off of this, and I'll show you this process. So let's take this culture media out and see what happened. I can tell you that it's hot. All right, so sterile gloves. You don't have to use sterile gloves. Like I said, I don't want to contaminate my media because the stuff's expensive. So if you don't have access to sterile gloves, you can use regular gloves. Spray your gloves down with alcohol. Works the same. All right, let's see if I can do this without burning myself. How hot this is. There's one. Okay. Gloves also help keep you from burning yourself. Container worked a little bit. They're not supposed to do that. Oh, I see. Because the lid secured and created a vacuum. So that's not supposed to happen. Let me see if the other ones do the same. No, the other ones are good. So we may have one that doesn't work. Let's see. I could get this off and let the vacuum out. That is hot. I don't want to contaminate everything working on that one when I have these others that are good. See, I don't like these containers. I wish I had my glass containers. Anyway, we're gonna go with it. I don't know why this one's bubbled up. You know, it may be okay. I don't know. It's awful warped. There we go. See, this one may get contaminated just from opening and closing. We'll see what happens. I'm not thrilled with that one. Anyway, we'll secure this one. And that one's secured. All right, so that's what it looks like. We're gonna let it cool. And I'm gonna wrap some saran wrap around just to keep contaminants from getting in. And like I said, I'm gonna let these set for at least 48 hours, maybe 72. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this one yet. We'll see. But that's that. I'll bring you back. Let's see how they look in 72 hours.